Hi, I'm Tim Parry, Senior Content Manager with Multichannel Merchant, and I'm with Scot Wingo, the CEO and founder of ChannelAdvisor, and we are at NMOA Direct Exchange Conference 2013, and we're here to talk a little bit about the marketplace side of business. Scot, eBay continues to see year-over-year growth as a marketplace. Can you explain what eBay is doing to grow marketplace share and why it was so successful in 2012?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to about 4 years ago. They had a change in leadership. So Meg Whitman was the CEO of the company. She led the company through its kind of crazy growth phases and then went a little bit sideways and even down there for a while. John Donahoe came in and assessed the health of the marketplace and determined a couple of things. Number one, they needed to increase the trust with buyers. They needed to increase the quality of sellers, number two. Number three, they needed to increase the ease of use of the website. So over the last 4 years, they really worked on those. And another thing he did kind of 2 years in was really invest a lot in mobile. So if we look at 2012, eBay did very well and grew faster than e-commerce, the eBay marketplace. And we attribute a lot of that to those initiatives he put in place about 3 years ago. So for example, it used to be that they didn't charge their fees on the shipping and handling. So you'd have these kind of fee pirates, if you will, that would go on there and they'd take a $50 item, they'd make it $1 or $5, and they'd have $45 in shipping. So they didn't have to pay eBay fees on that $45 component. So they've done some things like charging fees against the whole, encouraging through feedback loops, the free shipping and things like that have kind of helped raise the bar of the marketplace, because you've got companies like Amazon that have a very huge bar and eBay's was very low. So now their experience is getting up towards that Amazon-like experience, and the results are doing really well for them.
Both eBay and Amazon had solid mobile numbers in 2012, and mobile commerce in general seems to be on the rise. But on your blog, you were not recommending merchants waste their time building a mobile app. Why is that?
Yes, so mobile's been interesting. I think in the first wave of mobile, we all felt like apps were the way to go. If we look at the ComScore data, what you're finding is, and you see this in your own devices, I probably have 10 screens of apps, but I've maybe only used 2 screens worth of apps. So you have this kind of long tail of apps now that's happening. So what you're finding is consumers are using maybe 10 to 20 apps. And if you're a retailer, your chances of being there are actually pretty slim. ComScore has data that supports this, that shows, with the exception of eBay, Amazon, Walmart, and Target, most people access using their phone. When they access a retailer, it's through the web browser. So we kind of, we look at that data and it says to us it's time to look at wave 2, which is consumers are probably going to come through the browser. So make sure that your site works very well with the whole array of browsers that are out there. The browsers are also fragmenting. It used to be that you kind of only had to worry about the Apple one, which is a derivative of Safari, and the Android one, which is a derivative of Chrome. But now you have, just for Android, you have Opera is very popular. Google has a more full function version of Chrome that actually acts different than the installed Android. And then Chrome is relatively popular on the Apple devices. So there's a lot of retailers aren't testing all these different kind of combinations. You also have many flavors of Android out there as well. So you've got like ice cream sandwich and jelly bean, all these kind of silly names, but they're very, very different behaviors. So we recommend that you take the hundreds of thousands of dollars you would probably put into an app and put it into really creating a great buyer experience for your mobile site. Also, mobile payments. PayPal is very popular, and it's very nice. You can imagine if I'm going to go buy 5 things from 5 different retailers using my mobile web browser, I don't want to enter my payment information over and over again. So PayPal has become, so far, the de facto wallet. Now there's going to be some challengers down the road with NFC chips and things like that, and Google Wallet. But for now, we recommend people integrate PayPal Mobile into their website.
Consumers are adapting to the couch commerce lifestyle, really, if you want to call it that. Have you seen any changes in shopping trends based on the habits of tablet users? Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. There's a big debate, and where does tablet go? Is it mobile or desktop? Google has pretty squarely said that they are going to put it in with desktop. So it's kind of interesting. They lump it. They actually keep it outside of mobile. I don't really have an opinion there. Just kind of up to each retailer to kind of decide what the experience they want for the consumer to have. When we look at our data, we include it in there in mobile. And when we look at the holiday of 2012, we saw during that peak week, starting at Thanksgiving, we call it the Cyber 5, Thanksgiving through Cyber Monday, we saw mobile usage go up as high as 30%. So that was kind of a big wake-up call and a very surprising data point for us that it was quite high.
One more question for you, and that is, I know we're already almost a full quarter into 2013, but How do you see the marketplaces shaping up? Do you see anybody coming up as a challenger to Amazon or an eBay, or do you see those two just dominating? Do you see Google maybe making a play into the marketplaces based on some of the moves they're making?
Yeah, it's been interesting, and again, there's been these kind of waves of this. So Amazon's been very successful with their marketplace, and eBay's been around for a while with the marketplace. So we've seen a lot of retailers add marketplaces. So Best Buy, Buy.com, which is now called Rakuten Shopping. And then several others like a Walmart and Sears. So that's kind of the first wave, is retailers adding marketplaces. And those are doing pretty well, and we have some customers, especially if you can fit the demographic. So for example, if you sell tools, it does very well with Sears, for example. Now we're seeing companies like Groupon. A lot of people don't realize it, but the fastest growing part of Groupon is a marketplace called Groupon Goods. We believe Facebook will eventually have a marketplace. They have Facebook Gifts, which is a marketplace. You buy these gifts for people. You've probably seen it where it says, your friend has a birthday coming up, would you like to buy him a gift? That's a marketplace with third parties that plug in there. So we're kind of waiting to see. Social was kind of wait and see. And then Google has been making a lot of moves, largely in reaction to Amazon, kind of a defensive situation where, so Forrester came out with a pretty interesting research last year that showed something like 60% of people start their buying on Amazon versus Google, and those numbers flipped very quickly over a 2-year period. So I think Google probably sees it in their data that once someone locks into Amazon, maybe they become an Amazon Prime user, the number of searches they drive goes down. So Google is very strongly kind of trying to innovate in this area. They took their free product called Google Product Search, they made it a paid product called Google Shopping, monetized with product listing ads. We think that's one step, and now there's rumors out there that they're working on Google Shopping Express, which is effectively a local marketplace, kind of like this marketplace called eBay now. So we think that they're taking these steps towards becoming a marketplace, and it's a logical place for them to go, because it is a great buyer experience. So I challenge everyone to go to Amazon and pick 5 different things, maybe a sporting goods, a home and garden item, and an apparel item, and maybe an electronics. Find them, put them in your cart, and look at that experience, versus now try to do the same thing on Google. You'll end up with 20 tabs open in your browser and all kinds of different payment mechanisms and shipping policies and everything. So Marketplace is a very nice consumer experience, and we think Google has to go there to counteract what Amazon's built.
Excellent. Scott, thank you very much for your time today. We really appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the rest of the NMOA Direct Exchange Conference.
Sure. Thanks, Tim.